in video if they are proper. Perfect. Okay, so hi there. Hi students. Hello, good afternoon. How are you all? I hope that everybody is in best of their health and ready for their term 2 examinations, right? So this is Ritika, your chemistry educator at the very amazing platform Unacademy, and today we are going to have a very important session on the important questions for grade 9. तो आज जो है हम लोग कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस और कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट न्यूमेरिकल्स सॉल्व करेंगे ऑफ पोल्यूशन एंड द गैस लॉस, राइट? तो it's very important that you stay attentive. Okay, so let's quickly start with the question without wasting any further time. Talking about me, I am Ritika, your chemistry educator. I have completed my engineering in electronics and communication. अच्छा, तो स्टूडेंट्स, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू कैन जॉइन अस ऑन द टेलीग्राम चैनल. ओके, आप लोग जो ऑफिशियल टेलीग्राम चैनल है अनअकैडमी का, यू कैन जॉइन दैट, and you can also join my personal telegram channel to receive the help in homework, class notes, or to stay updated about all the ongoing offers at Unacademy. अच्छा, तो students, फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर सेशन हम लोग क्या करने वाले हैं, हम लोग जो है क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करेंगे, सम ऑफ द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस, एंड you know here you will be getting the idea also, okay, how to write the answers of the questions which are asked in your examination, right? तो हम लोग questions के साथ साथ answer writing पर भी focus करने वाले हैं, right? Like how the questions are asked and how you are supposed to answer those questions. Okay, and we in today's session are going to focus on these two topics, which is the pollution and the gas loss. तो हम लोग कुछ न्यूमेरिकल्स करेंगे, कुछ MCQ टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस करेंगे, ऑफ कोर्स दे आर आल्सो आस्क्ड इन योर एग्जामिनेशंस, एंड कुछ थ्योरी क्वेश्चंस करेंगे, राइट? You are most welcome to answer the questions. Okay, so as we are having the question, you can answer them in the chat box. Let's quickly get started. The first question is, deduce the relationship between volume and pressure of a given mass of gas at a constant temperature. अच्छा, तो अभी हमारे पास ये एक बड़ा ही सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है, बट इस क्वेश्चन को पूछने का जो वे है, इट कैन वेरी, है ना? सबसे पहले तो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि जब हमारा टेम्परेचर कांस्टेंट होता है, ओके, व्हेन टेम्परेचर इज अ कांस्टेंट क्वांटिटी, what or which law are we supposed to apply? Now, if you remember the statement of Boyle's law, it states that volume of a given mass of dry gas, it's inversely proportional to pressure at the constant temperature. तो सबसे पहले तो हमारे पास जो आंसर है वो आया है कि हम लोगों को यहाँ बॉयल्स लॉ अप्लाई करना है. एंड हाउ डिड वी रिमेम्बर? by having a thorough reading, है ना? तो it's not important. I have given this question just to tell you कि जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको directly पूछा जाए कि बॉयल्स लॉ का statement क्या है या फिर उसका जो deduction है वो क्या रहेगा. You could be asked different types of the questions, right? You could be asked that which law is applicable when volume and temperature and mass are constant. Okay, so you have to be ready. The question can be given or asked to you in any of the method. So we know now that it is the Boyle's law that we have to apply, right? तो Boyle's law में जो constant quantity है वो क्या हो गया? वो हो गया हमारा temperature and the mass, right? अभी बात करते हैं what is the relationship between volume and pressure, how to deduce it. Okay, we just don't have to write the statement, but we have to deduce the relationship. So first of all, if I talk about the expression, let's suppose that we are having a gas which occupies volume which is V1 at pressure P1. Right? Now, according to Boyle's law, what we can write? Please mention that we are following the Boyle's law. The Boyle's law states that at constant temperature, the volume and pressure, they are inversely proportional. So what we will be writing? We will be writing that V1, it is inversely proportional to pressure 1. And when we remove this proportionality sign, we get a constant, right? तो अभी जैसे हमने ये proportionality sign हटाया, this particular sign, this one, we will be getting an equal. Okay, तो हमारा जो equal to हो गया, हमारे पास आया एक proportionality constant, right? Now, please mention what is K. Okay, never ever forget. See, these are the small mistakes. आपको लगता है कि इसका marks क्या ही कटेगा, but yes, you could be deducted like 1/4 mark or any quantity, it could be deducted. So it's better that you mention everything very very clearly, right? So K is what? It is a constant. Okay, now by transferring, what do we have? We have P1 V1 is equal to K. Now this is our first equation. Okay, talking about the volume next. Okay, so if let's suppose that if V2 is volume, okay, which is occupied when pressure is P2, and the condition that we need to especially mention is at same temperature. हमने क्या वेरी किया है? हमने वॉल्यूम और प्रेशर को चेंज किया है, लेकिन जो हमारा टेम्परेचर है इट इज सेम, इट हैज नॉट बीन ऑल्टर्ड. सो V2 will be inversely proportional to P2. Same way we will be getting K upon P2, and from here we can write that P2 V2 is equal to K. Okay, now from here students, what we can write that from equation 1 and 2, see this is also K and this is also K over here, right? P1 V1 is equal to K and P2 V2 is also equal to a constant that is K. So from here, from both of these equation, हम लोग क्या लिख सकते हैं? हम लोग लिख सकते हैं that P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 is equal to K. And this condition, it is applicable at constant temperature. Right? तो ये जो हमारी equation है, this equation, it is known as Boyle's law equation. Okay? Let's quickly see how we have derived this equation. तो सबसे पहले we have supposed that we are having a gas जिसका volume है V1 at a particular pressure P1. तो जो हमारा Boyle's law है वो स्टेट करता है कि वॉल्यूम और प्रेशर जो है उनमें ना इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप होता है. मतलब कि जैसे जैसे वॉल्यूम बढ़ेगा उसी प्रोपोर्शन में प्रेशर जो है इट विल रिड्यूस. ओके, एंड वाइस वर्सा. So when we go for the equation, we get P1 V1 is equal to K, that is constant. And similarly, we will be deducing it for second or next volume, that is V2 at the second pressure or next pressure is P2. है ना? टेम्परेचर हम लोग चेंज नहीं करेंगे, टेम्परेचर हमारा सेम रहेगा. And from that we get the Boyle's law equation which states that P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Now where is this equation used? You would be having various numericals based on Boyle's law. तब हमें इसी equation का use करना होगा, right? चलो, moving on to the next question, define STP. तो सबसे पहले तो STP का full form है, it is standard temperature pressure. अभी we know the full form, but basic इसका meaning क्या है? What is the definition or what is the meaning? तो जो हमारा वॉल्यूम है किसी भी गैस का, ओके, वो जो है प्रेशर और टेम्परेचर के साथ बड़ा चेंज होता रहता है, राइट? तो हमें जरूरत है, वी नीड अ काइंड ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू किसी टेम्परेचर और प्रेशर की, जिससे कि हम उस वॉल्यूम को रेफर कर सकते हैं, ओके? सो व्हाट इज इट? इफ आई गो फॉर द डेफिनेशन, if I talk about definition, STP is the standard value of temperature and pressure at which the volume of gas is referred. Okay, and if I talk about the temperature, जो हमारा standard temperature है उसका value we have taken as 0 degree Celsius or 273 Kelvin. And if we talk about standard pressure, its value is taken as 760 millimeter of mercury, या फिर हम इसको 1 atmosphere भी लेते हैं, right? These are the standard temperature and pressure values, correct? Okay. Next is the give reason type of questions. Now students, give reasons type of questions are very common in your examinations, okay? The very first question is, the Kelvin scale has been adopted for chemical equations or calculations. तो हमने जो है calculation में, if you have noted, we always have the temperature in Kelvin, right? So why is it so? तो जो हमारा वॉल्यूम है किसी भी गैस का, एनी पर्टिकुलर गैस, जिसका वॉल्यूम है, इट वुड बी रिड्यूस टू 0, ओके, एट द वैल्यू ऑफ 0 Kelvin, okay? And also the temperature, if I talk about on the Kelvin scale, they are positive, okay? The basic reason is the temperatures on Kelvin scale are positive. That is the reason why we have adopted, right? If I talk about 0 Kelvin, that is equal to what? Minus 273 degrees Celsius. And obviously इससे लो कोई वैल्यू ही नहीं हो रही है, राइट? तो उसका मीनिंग ये रहा कि जो केल्विन स्केल है उस पर जो हमारे टेम्परेचर है वो कभी भी नेगेटिव में नहीं होंगे. विल बी गेटिंग all the positive values, and therefore it is very convenient to be used for chemical calculations. Next is the absolute zero is a theoretical concept. Okay. So if I talk about absolute zero, at this particular temperature क्या होगा? The volume of gas, जो हमारा गैस का वॉल्यूम है, it will be reduced to 0. Okay. Now ये जो हमारा absolute zero है, ये एक lowest temperature है that we can reach, है ना? और इस temperature पे जो molecular motion होता है, the motion between the molecules, the motion of the molecules, वो completely stop हो जाता है. It completely ceases, it completely stops. लेकिन ये जो temperature है, this absolute zero, this temperature, it is impossible to attain, okay? Because इस temperature पे पहुंचने से पहले जो है हमारी सारी gases liquefy हो जाती है, okay? And therefore it is just a theoretical concept. Okay, so what we can write, that at absolute zero, the volume of gas, it will be reduced to 0, and it is the lowest temperature. Okay, and at this temperature, the molecular motion, it ceases or stops. Okay, but the basic reason is at this temperature It is first of all impossible to attain. So we can write the key points over here are that it is impossible to attain this absolute zero. Why? Because all the gases liquefy. Okay, and that is why it is just a theoretical concept. Okay, तो इसको हमें बहुत ही particular and I would say systematic way में we have to explain it कि जो हमारा absolute zero है ये है क्या, at absolute zero जो हमारी volume होता है gases का वो zero पर reduce हो जाता है ना, और ये जो है हमारा lowest temperature है, इससे low temperature possible नहीं है. At this particular temperature of absolute zero, the molecular motion it stops, it ceases, and also this absolute zero it is impossible to achieve. Why? Because all the gases वहां पर जाने से पहले ही they liquefy. All right. Okay, moving on to Unacademy free special class features. Now students, these are the free special classes. For attending these classes, all you need to have is the Unacademy Learner app. So you can download this app from the Play Store or App Store, and over here you can attend the classes. The classes are very interactive and very interesting. Why? Because you can talk to your teachers. You can have a real-time interaction with your educators. You can ask the questions. For example, over here you can type the question, or you can attach the image of your question. अगर आपको confusion है, you can go for it. There are also the poll options. So polls are the type of MCQ, okay, that which are asked by educators. You can have a competition. You can have compete with your friends. We are having a leaderboard option also, right? If I talk about the special class timetable, so today, that is on 12th March at 5:15 p.m. we are going to have a power pack revision on pollution and gas laws. And also on 15th of March, we are going to focus on the numericals of the gas laws. So kindly make sure that you attend these sessions and take the maximum advantage out of it. If I talk about Unacademy subscription features, so if you subscribe for Plus at Unacademy, there are various things that you get. You can learn from your home. Then you will be having regular doubt clearing session or answer writing session. You will be getting all the study material in PDF format. Okay, and apart from this, you will be getting daily live tests, weekly mock tests, live quizzes, MCQs, etc., etc. And next is Unacademy Plus subscription plans. So you can go for any timing, any duration as per your convenience, 3 month, 6 month, 24, 18, 36, anything. And then what you can do is you can use my code. So this is my code. You can use to get an extra 10% discount, right? Okay, chalo. Moving on to next question. The next question is, give reasons that the gases are highly compressible, and the next is the gases easily undergo diffusion. So let's solve first one. Gases are highly compressible. अच्छा, if I talk about interparticle space, जो हमारा gaseous जो molecules होते हैं, let's suppose कि ये जो है हमारा this is one of the vessel जिसमें की गैस है, तो गैस के particles क्या होंगे, बड़े दूर दूर होते हैं, right? They are far apart. Okay. Now over here what are the two things? First of all जो है इनका interparticle space क्या होगा, बहुत ही ज्यादा होगा. Interparticle space is large. और अगर इनका इंटरपार्टिकल स्पेस लार्ज है तो क्या होगा, जब हम इन पर प्रेशर अप्लाई करेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा, ये कंप्रेस हो जाएगी, जो है पार्टिकल्स हमारे थोड़े पास आ जाएंगे. यस, सो व्हाट वी कैन राइट दैट gases have large interparticle space okay. तो अभी when we apply the pressure, okay, so when we apply pressure what happens, जो molecules है वो पास में आ जाएंगे, right? So we can say that molecules come closer, and when molecules come closer, जो volume है हमारे गैस का वो कम हो जाएगा, so volume decreases, और क्योंकि वॉल्यूम डिक्रीज हुआ वी कैन से दैट जो हमारी गैस है उसे हमने कंप्रेस कर दिया है, राइट? तो द बेसिक रीजन इज जो लार्ज इंटरपार्टिकल स्पेस है उसकी वजह से जैसे ही हम लोग प्रेशर अप्लाई करेंगे, एज वी अप्लाई द प्रेशर, मॉलिक्यूल्स दे विल कम क्लोजर एंड हेंस इट विल रिड्यूस द वॉल्यूम. Next is gases easily undergo diffusion. Now before learning about diffusion, before going for how gases undergo diffusion, we should be knowing what diffusion is, है ना? तो अभी if I talk about diffusion, it is a kind of property by which the molecules of substances they intermix, right? So what we can say that diffusion, it is a process of, करुणा says particles क्यों पास आ जाएंगे प्रेशर अप्लाई करेंगे तो. अच्छा, see Karuna, if I talk about this, let's suppose that this is my vessel, है ना? अभी हमारा ये जो है ये एक वेसल है ना? तो इसमें जो गैसेस पार्टिकल्स गैसेस हमने पढ़ा है कि जो उनका इंटर मॉलिक्यूलर स्पेस है बहुत ज्यादा होता है ना? तो अभी जैसे ही हमने प्रेशर अप्लाई किया तो पार्टिकल्स पास पास आना स्टार्ट करेंगे. व्हाई? क्योंकि उन पर हम लोग एक प्रेशर डाल रहे हैं, राइट? तो उस प्रेशर की वजह से जो है पार्टिकल्स पास आएंगे एंड दिस विल लीड टू देयर डिक्रीमेंट इन द वॉल्यूम. आई होप दैट यू आर क्लियर विद दिस नाउ. या टॉकिंग अबाउट डिफ्यूजन, तो हमारा डिफ्यूजन क्या हुआ है? इट इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ mixing of particles or mixing of two substances. Okay, Samriddhi. If I talk about the diffusion, so it is process of mixing of two substances by molecular motion. Acha, for explaining diffusion, the very easy example that we can have is the room spray. अभी अगर in your room you spray a perfume, what will happen? You will, in a fraction of second you will be able to smell that fragrance. Why? Because let's suppose that this is a medium, है ना? यहाँ पर हमने क्या किया है? In this medium there are air particles, okay? तो ये जो एयर पार्टिकल्स हैं इसके बीच में जैसे ही हमने वी वेंट ऑन फॉर दी रूम परफ्यूम और स्प्रे, तो ये जो हमारे पार्टिकल्स है स्प्रे पार्टिकल्स दे आर मिक्स्ड, है ना? तो ये डिफ्यूजन, दिस इज व्हाट डिफ्यूजन इज, कि जो मॉलिक्यूलर मोशन है उसकी वजह से जो पार्टिकल्स में मिक्सिंग हो जाती है, ओके, दैट इज द रीजन. अच्छा, अभी गैसेस की बात करें तो गैसेस डिफ्यूजन, व्हाई डू दे अंडरगो डिफ्यूजन? Because they are having large interparticle space. अभी अगर उनमें large interparticle space है स्टूडेंट्स, तो क्या होगा? foreign particles को आने के लिए they will be having enough place, okay? So because the interparticle space in the gases it is very high or very large, so they can easily intermix, okay, and therefore they easily undergo diffusion. I hope that this is very much clear to you. Okay, so these are just the examples that I have given. See, the purple color are the air particles and the green one are the perfume particles. So they are mixing with each other because of the molecular motion. Okay, next question is define pollution and pollutant. So this is our second unit that we are going to cover in our today's class. So first of all, if I talk about pollution, Yeah. So pollution क्या है कि जो हमारा environment है, it is getting degraded by some of the activities, right? And because of this, the environment, it is having some of the changes which are not very good. Then that is in some way or other harming the environment. So basically pollution is what? It is the effect of undesirable changes in our surroundings which in some way or other have a harmful effect. Okay, so that have harmful effect on living beings. So this is the basic definition of pollution कि जो हमारे surroundings हैं उसमें जो कुछ changes आ रहे हैं, undesirable means not good. Okay, the changes that we actually do not want but we are creating. तो ये जो changes हैं जो बहुत अच्छे नहीं हैं हमारे surroundings में हो रहे हैं, okay, जिसकी वजह से there are some harmful effects on us. These are because of this it is leading to pollution. Next is pollutant. Okay, just a minute. तो pollutant हमारा क्या हो गया? Pollutant is any substance जो कि किसी भी तरह से pollution में it leads to pollution. So what is pollutant? It is referred for any substance. Let's suppose if I talk about plastic, if I talk about smoke, if I talk about the gases which come out from the vehicles, they are all the pollutants. Yes, basically it is the substance that cause pollution. Correct, Samriddhi, right? So how we can go for the pollutant? It is the harmful substances that have an undesirable impact on environment. है ना? Let's suppose if I talk about plastic, तो जो plastic है that is creating the harmful effect. Okay, if I talk about the exhaust gases, okay, these are again the harmful. If I talk about the lead, or if I talk about the detergents, they are all the pollutants. They are either creating water pollution, air pollution, soil pollution, any type of pollution, right? Okay, moving on to next question, but before that, students, Unacademy, it presents Emerge. So Emerge, it is a mock test series for final exams for grade 10 and 12 learners. You can enroll yourself, and these are the timings. Timing is 5 p.m. onwards, and Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we are having biology, math, physics and chemistry mock test. Next is state the origin and the health impact of smog. तो जो smog है basically वो क्या है? It is the combination of nitrogen and sulphur which are combined with the partially oxidized hydrocarbons. Okay, so होता क्या है smog में? We are having oxides of nitrogen, sulphur, ये जो है मिक्स होते हैं हमारे हाइड्रोकार्बन्स के साथ. ओके, सो इट इज मिक्स विद partially oxidized hydrocarbons. Okay, and they all combine with all the industrial waste. Okay, and they are forming a dark, thick and soot laden fog which is known as smog. Okay, Basically, it is combination of the various oxides of nitrogen, sulfur, partially oxidized hydrocarbons to form a thick and soot-laden fog, which is smog. And talking about their impact, so first of all, it is noxious, it is irritating. In some cases, it can reduce visibility. After that, it can also cause some of the respiratory troubles. And in some cases, it can cause death by suffocation. Okay, so these are the harmful effects of smog. Hope that it is very much clear to you. Okay, next is explain the formation of acid rain due to oxides of sulfur and oxides of nitrogen. अच्छा, सबसे पहले तो you should be knowing what is acid rain. Acid rain, it actually refers to any form of precipitation. For example, it can be rain, snow, hail, etc. जिसका जो water है, it is acidic. Okay. Now, how this water turns acidic? It is due to oxides of sulfur and nitrogen. तो सबसे पहले हम लोग सल्फर की बात करते हैं. सल्फर इट इज अ नॉन मेटालिक एलिमेंट, है ना, जो कि हमें कोल्स में मिलता है बेसिकली, राइट. तो जब ये कोल या फिर जैसे कि जिन व्हाटएवर फ्यूल्स व्हिच कंटेन सल्फर, व्हेन वी बर्न इट, जब इनको हम बर्न करते हैं तो क्या होता है, ये जो सल्फर है ये कंबाइन होता है ऑक्सीजन के साथ और ये बनाता है सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड. And it also leads to formation of sulfur trioxide. How? When the sulfur dioxide, it again oxidizes, it will be forming sulfur trioxide. है ना? Now these two gases, sulfur dioxide and trioxide, which are present now in the atmosphere, ये जब combine होंगे water के साथ, okay, when these sulfur dioxide or sulfur trioxide combines with water, react with water, they will be forming sulfuric acid. How? So this is how it forms the sulfuric acid. Okay, and sulfur trioxide, it can directly combine to form sulfuric acid. Okay, and this is one of the major or main concern main cause of acid rain. Okay, इसकी वजह से जो है acid rain it is caused. Next is talking about oxides of nitrogen. तो nitric acid जो है it is formed because of the nitrogen dioxide, right? अभी कैसे present हो रहा है nitrogen dioxide into our atmosphere? तो सबसे पहले क्या हुआ? This nitrogen and oxygen, they are combining in the atmosphere. Okay, they combine at very high temperatures, especially during thunder and lightning. So we are having high temperature and we get the nitric oxide. This nitric oxide, it further oxidizes and it forms the nitrogen dioxide, right? Abhi this nitrogen dioxide, it will be directly combining with water and it will be forming the nitrous acid and the nitric acid. Okay, तो ये भी है जो हमारे acid rain के causes है, right? So this becomes your answer. How are oxides of sulfur and nitrogen responsible for causing the acid rain? Okay, now we will be solving some of the numericals related to the gas laws. Okay, and students, please remember the equations very properly because it is very sure that you will be asked the numericals based on any law, right? Chalo, the very first question is, at constant temperature, a gas is at a pressure of 540 millimeter of mercury At what pressure its volume decreases by 60%? तो सबसे पहले तो we need to see what are the values which are already given. तो हमें जो दे रखा है प्रेशर दे रखा है, टेम्परेचर कांस्टेंट है, that means what? We will be applying Boyle's law. So we have been given pressure, okay, and the second thing which is asked that जो वॉल्यूम है अगर वो डिक्रीज हो जाती है 60% से तो प्रेशर में क्या चेंज आएगा. तो हम लोग लेट्स सपोज कि जो हमारा इनिशियल वॉल्यूम है, लेट द इनिशियल वॉल्यूम इज इक्वल टू x, तो इसको हम बोल देते हैं इट इज आर V1, है ना. नाउ नेक्स्ट हमको क्या बता रखा है कि जो वॉल्यूम 2 है दैट इज V2, वो क्या बता रखा है 60% है हमारे इनिशियल वॉल्यूम का. ओके, इट इज डिक्रीज बाय 60%, राइट. तो अभी हम लोग क्या करेंगे फॉर कैलकुलेटिंग V2, if I talk about 60% of V1 that will be equal to 60 upon 100 and the value is x, तो हमारे पास ये आ गया 0.6x, है ना. तो जो हमारा V2 है वो क्या है, डिक्रीज हो गया 60% से, तो x minus 0.6x that will be equal to 0.4x and this is our V2. अब हमारे पास क्या वैल्यू दे रखी है, we have got P1 that is equal to 540 millimeter of Hg mercury. तो हमें फाइंड करना है P2 that is the pressure. Constant temperature, so we will be applying what? Boyle's law. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. P1 हमारे पास कितना है 540, राइट. V1 हमारे पास है x. P2 is something that we have to find and V2 is 0.4x. तो हमारा जो P2 है इसका वैल्यू होगा 540 into x upon 0.4x which is equal to 1350 millimeter of mercury. Okay, so that will be your the first numerical solution. Correct. Moving on to next question. 100 centimeter cube of a gas, it is cooled at 27 degrees Celsius is cooled to 20 degrees Celsius at constant pressure. तो अभी इस सेकेंड क्वेश्चन में हमें जो वैल्यू दे रखी है दैट इज फॉर प्रेशर दैट इज कांस्टेंट, राइट. इफ प्रेशर इज कांस्टेंट व्हिच लॉ वी अप्लाई द चार्ल्स लॉ. तो हमें जो है वॉल्यूम कैलकुलेट करनी है 20 डिग्री सेल्सियस. सो सबसे पहले पुटिंग इन द वैल्यूज दैट वी ऑलरेडी हैव, तो हमारे पास वॉल्यूम 1 है 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस, 100 सेंटीमीटर क्यूब एंड द टेम्परेचर 1 it is 27 degrees Celsius. Taking it into converting it into Kelvin, 27 plus 273 which is equal to 300 Kelvin. Now we have to calculate V2. We are having T2 which is equal to 20 degrees Celsius, and if I talk about the temperature in the Kelvin, it is 20 plus 273 which is equal to 293 Kelvin. Right, and as the pressure is constant we go for Charles law. It is V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T2. तो हमारा V1 कितना था 100, T1 was 300, V2 we have to find out and T2 was 293. By transferring it we have 100 into 293 upon 300 which will be equal to 97.67 centimeter cube, right. So this will be our solution. Abhi let's move on to the next question. Let's see what is the next question and what is it asking. So next question says 2.5 decimeter cube of a dry nitrogen gas is collected at temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and pressure 740 ml and we have to find the volume at STP. तो STP हमारा क्या हो गया स्टैंडर्ड टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर. तो सबसे पहले मेंशनिंग द वैल्यूज विच आर गिवन, V1 is given to us as 2.5 decimeter cube. अब हमारे पास V1 हो गया. The temperature T1 it is 27 डिग्री सेल्सियस. तो इसमें अगर हम 273 ऐड करेंगे तो हमारे पास आ जाएगा टेम्परेचर विच विल बी इक्वल टू 300 डिग्री केल्विन, नॉट डिग्री केल्विन, केल्विन. ओके, अभी हमारे को प्रेशर दे रखा है, इट इज 740. So P1, V1 and T1 are done. Next is standard temperature and pressure. So if I talk about the standard temperature and standard pressure, P2 it will be equal to 760 mm of Hg. Okay, and T2 it is equal to 273 Kelvin. We have to find volume. Okay, so we will be applying the gas equation, that is P1 V1 upon T1 is equal to P2 V2 upon T2. Okay, putting in the values, P1 is 740 into V1 is 2.5, T1 is 300. P2 it is standard temperature and pressure, so it will be 760 into V2 upon 273. Transferring the values, we get V2 is equal to 740 into 2.5 into 273 upon 300 into 760. And when we solve it, we will be getting V2 is 2.215 decimeter cube. Alright, I hope that there is no confusion up till here. Next question is 6 decimeter cube of a dry gas at temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and pressure of 700 millimeter of Hg. We have to find the volume again at STP. तो सबसे पहले तो write down the values which are given. हमारे पास volume है, it is 6 decimeter cube. Then we have temperature which is equal to 27 degrees Celsius, that is equal to 300 Kelvin. Pressure it is 700. For STP values we have T2 is equal to 273 Kelvin and P2 is 760. Correct? So according to gas equation we have P1 V1 upon T1 is equal to P2 V2 upon T2. So what will be the values? If I talk about P1, it is given to us as 700 into V1 is 6 and T1 it is 300. P2 it is 760, V2 we have to find out, and temperature 2 it is 273. Transferring the values we get V2 is equal to and when we solve it we will be getting the value as 5.03 decimeter cube. Correct? So this is how the questions are asked. As opposed to say that numericals are asked. Okay, any one law, okay, it could be Charles law, Boyle's law, or the standard gas equation. Especially remember the values of STP, right? And this is how we go for the solutions. Okay, next is some of the MCQ. Okay, let's see how are the MCQs asked. The constant quantity of Boyle's law. So in the Boyle's law, what are the constant quantity? The relationship it is between the pressure and volume, and the constant quantity will be mass and temperature. Both mass and temperature are the constant quantity. Next is the proportion of carbon dioxide in atmosphere is about dash. So carbon dioxide it is approximately present as 0.03%. Next is the major factor in causing global warming is dash. So the global warming it is caused due to increased concentration of carbon dioxide, which makes the option C is correct. And the next is the Bhopal Gas Tragedy. It was caused, so Bhopal Gas Tragedy it was caused due to the leakage of methyl isocyanate. So that is the correct answer. Okay, After that, in which scale of temperature the temperature can never be negative. So we discussed it that it is on absolute scale that temperature is never negative. The SI unit of pressure in the unit of pressure in SI system is, so pressure is what? Force upon area. So that goes Newton per meter square. Correct? Okay, so students, you can enroll yourself into the ongoing batches. You can go for ICSE grade 9 or 10, and we are having all the subjects: math, physics, chemistry and biology. Also students, if you subscribe for grade 9, you will be getting the subscription of grade 10, 11 and 12 absolutely free. So kindly make sure that you subscribe and you go on for your batches. Next is Bugs Bounty. So this is an opportunity for all the learners to report any inappropriate content if you find it in the video. You can report it using the form which is given in the description. And yeah, I hope that you might have understood everything that we have learned today. If you have understood everything, please like and share this video with your friends. You can also subscribe to the channel of Unacademy so that you stay updated with all the content that are happening over here at Unacademy. We will be meeting in the next class. Till then, take care of yourself. All the very best. I'll be bringing some more sessions for you which will be helpful for your term 2 examinations. Okay, so let's meet in the next class. Till then, take care of yourself and all the very best.